Before we get into this documentary, we need to find out what a war crime is. Before World War II, war crimes were seen as part of the wartime experience for soldiers. This is because people who committed them weren't prosecuted. In World War I, a small number of people were prosecuted for committing war crimes. However, in World War II, this changed. This drastic change happened because of the events in the Holocaust and the extreme loss of life. Major officials were held more accountable for their actions, and people are still being prosecuted to this day.
A German court sentenced an 87-year-old grandma to 10 months in jail, or as I call it, likely a life sentence, for denying the Holocaust.
The two major categories of a war crime are crimes against peace and crimes against humanity. Crimes against peace include waging and planning wars. Crimes against humanity include murder, enslavement, and violence towards civilians. This leads on to what's happening in Yemen. Yemen is a war-torn country in Asia. Yemen is in the middle of a civil war. Along with this, Saudi Arabia are bombarding them and killing thousands of civilians. You've probably not heard of this because the media barely report on it. Recently, Jamal Khashoggi, a Saudi Arabian journalist, was killed in the Saudi embassy in Turkey. The media use what's happening in Yemen to fuel their agenda against Saudi Arabia. They reported on Yemen to make Saudi Arabia look even worse. However, all that coverage on Yemen has now calmed down. The reason the news decides to report on questionable things instead of what's happening in Yemen is because the USA and Saudi Arabia are business partners, and if they get bad coverage on Saudi Arabia, it makes the USA look even worse. The USA earn a lot of money off of Saudi Arabia and cannot afford to lose it. Most of the war crimes are being committed by rebel groups in Yemen. One rebel group is called the Houthis. This group has committed many war crimes. These war crimes include planting mines in civilian areas, imprisonment with no evidence, denying civilians basic human rights such as food, water and other supplies, and torture. The Houthis planted 500,000 mines all around Yemen. This was to stop any supplies from coming in. They would get blown up straight away. This means that the innocent civilians inside Yemen are starving to death right now. As well as starving to death, they are being bombed by Saudi Arabia, most of them getting badly injured or dying. The mines around Yemen stop the civilians from leaving as well. This means they can't even take asylum in a different country. It's not just Saudi Arabia that can be held accountable for what's happening in Yemen, it's Iran too. This is because Iran supplied the rebel groups with armour, food and guns. Some could hold the USA responsible because the USA give Saudi Arabia all of their ammunition.
The US doesn't just sell arms to the coalition in its battle against the Iranian-backed rebel Houthi militias. It provides intelligence, help with targeting procedures, mid-air refueling. President Obama blocked sales of precision-guided military technology to Saudi Arabia over human rights concerns. 6 months later, under the newly elected Trump administration, then Secretary of State Rex Tillerson overturned the ban.
The arms deal that Saudi Arabia and America have states that America gives them guns, ammo and other things like bombs, and the Saudi Arabia give the money. Now that they spoke about Yemen, it's time to go talk to an expert. Why do you think the media are polarised into not reporting on what is happening in Yemen?
They don't report on what's happening because America are allies and business partners with Saudi Arabia. Reporting on Yemen would make America look bad for being associated with Saudi Arabia.
Why has the destruction been going on so long with nobody trying to halt it until recently?
It's because there's no news coverage.
What do the Houthis want, and why haven't they stopped at all trying to rebel across Yemen?
They want to liberate the whole of Yemen.
What do you think the actual figure of civilians' death is?
Around 50,000.
Why can't supplies be taken into Yemen?
The Houthis have planted bombs across Yemen which blow up supplies coming in.